With such a brilliant mind and knack for crime fighting, it's no surprise that Spider-Man is the type of hero to have multiple suits for any occasion. Now, although his powers are generally all he needs to get by in a fight, sometimes he just needs that, little extra something to help him out. What is going on, all you nerdy folk out there? My name is Jack, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd, and thank you so much for swinging by and tuning into part 2 of our top 10 strongest Spider-Man suits list. Now, Amanda did a phenomenal job on part 1, so if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you take the time to do that at some point, just so you can get caught up on what we already talked about. But anyways, without further ado, let's talk about some more Spidey suits. Number 10, the Bombastic Bagman. Okay, so I'll say outright that I may be a little bit biased when it comes to this one because it is one of the funniest Spider-Man suits I've ever seen, and it's also one of my favorites. Now, when Reed Richards first examined the alien symbiote and separated it from Peter, he was left without a costume, and obviously he couldn't go web-slinging without a costume, as it would just reveal his true identity. So what did he do? Well, thanks to the Human Torch, he was given a spare Fantastic Four costume to cover his body, a paper bag to cover his face, and a good old kick me sign was placed on his back by Johnny himself as a prank. Note how I didn't mention that he got any shoes of any kind, so he literally walked around barefoot in basically a onesie and with a paper bag over his head. The only real redeeming quality is that the suit itself was made of unstable molecules, which insulated the wearer from electrical assaults and performed all other functions any of the Fantastic Four's own suits would. Other than that though, it's just a silly look, and man, do I love it. Check it out in its first appearance in 1984's Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 258. Number 9, Negative Zone suit. This suit worn by Peter was one that he gained during his time in the Negative Zone. He ventured into the Negative Zone to rescue 3 children, and much to his surprise, once he set foot in that mysterious zone, his costume was altered. Changing from its normal red and blue, it transformed into a black and white suit, and that actually gave Peter a pretty sweet advantage as it made him pretty much invisible in the Negative Zone. There have been a few other instances where Peter has donned this suit, one that may or may not get covered a little bit later on this list, and then another time after Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative, touched his costume and forced it to change color. Check out this suit for yourself in pretty much every Spider-Man video game out there, or head on over to 1998 Spider-Man number 90. Number 8, DUSK. During a period of time where Spider-Man wasn't allowed to keep acting as Spider-Man because he was accused of some pretty terrible and serious crimes, he adopted a few different personas so that he could continue saving lives. One of these personas was DUSK, and as DUSK he pretended to be a mercenary with a quiet and serious personality. Peter used all 4 of his new identities to confuse his foes and to contradict speculation that the new heroes were all in fact the same person. Once he cleared his name, he abandoned all of his new personas though. Now, the DUSK suit allows the user to become virtually invisible in the shadows and glide short distances. Cassie St. Commons also wore the suit for some time after that, and then after her death and revival, the suit was altered using Dark Force energy, which allowed her to teleport herself and others anywhere she wished to be. She could also manipulate shadows to form objects or constructs of solid dark energy, could regenerate damaged tissue, and she had a clairvoyant ability to sense the whereabouts of all of her teammates. Check out this suit in action in its first appearance in 1998 Spider-Man number 90. Number 7, Spider-Man 2211 suit. Max Bourne of Earth 9500 in the year 2211 was not only a time spinner, he was the Spider-Man of that universe and time as well. His costume differs greatly from most other Spidey suits, as it's more of a spider armor than a suit, with the only real similarity being the color scheme. Now, his armor has 4 extra mechanized arms, is bulletproof, except at point blank range, and includes a guided webbing, electro webbing, supplied air, visual sensors, rocket boots, and a time traveling engine. Not only that, Bourne's technology in a suit allows him to view alternate timelines, perform mind wipes, and use advanced statistic modeling to forecast the most probable future events. Check it and Spider-Man 2211 out for yourself, starting the 1995 Spider-Man 2099 meets Spider-Man number 1. Number 6, the Anti-OCK suit. Making its first appearance in 2018's Marvel's Spider-Man PS4, this suit is an upgraded version of Peter's advanced suit that he wears throughout the base game. He had been working on the advanced suit for quite some time while he was working at Octavius Industries, using any materials that were used for their work on prosthetic limbs. Now, funnily enough, it was thanks to Otto's design and augmentations that the suit was able to come to life. When Octavius went rogue and kidnapped Mayor Osborn and got a hold of the anti-serum for the Devil's Breath, Peter quickly completed this suit to be able to fight on par with Dr. Octopus's tentacles. This suit is pretty similar to most of his other suits, however it has a resupply feature that distributes nano mesh that continuously refills the webbing or any other gadget that he has on hand. The suit also seems to act like some sort of extra armor for Peter, as in that final battle with Doc Ock, the suit gets partially damaged and you can see his regular old suit underneath it. Check it out for yourself by replaying or just straight up playing for the first time 2018 Spider-Man PS4. Number 5, ELECTRO-PROOF suit. Although this suit is not super well known and generally considered pretty weak, this suit is actually a lot stronger than you might think and has saved Peter's life. The Electro-Proof suit is exactly what it sounds like. It's a suit that was specifically designed to combat against Electro's powerful and thunderous attacks. With rubber padding running throughout the costume, this costume not only featured an interesting design choice, it made Electro's attacks pretty much harmless. Turns out not every scenario needs a complicated solution. That being said though, this suit is pretty useless against any other villain, but oh man, when it comes to Electro, just super effective. Check it out for yourself in its first appearance in 1997's Amazing Spider-Man number 425. Number 4. Penny Parker's SPDR suit. First introduced in the Spider-Verse event, Penny Parker is a young girl whose father originally piloted a mech suit known as the SPDR. After her father's death, Penny was instructed by her universe's version of Aunt May and Uncle Ben that only she could pilot the suit thereafter. What's so unique about the SPDR suit is that it has a living radioactive spider within it that powers the entire CPU. While the suit definitely stands out amongst other Spidey costumes, its heavy armor, unique control system, and weapons make SPDR a true force to be reckoned with. This suit is ridiculously powerful mainly due to the fact that its limitations were never actually written. Like many other manga robots, the SPDR suit is equipped with essentially any type of weapon that the plot calls for, with seemingly unlimited defenses, and then not to mention that it literally lets her travel across dimensions. Why not check it out for yourself, starting with its first appearance in 2014's Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. Number 3. Stealth Suit. While fighting the Hobgoblin, he discovered that he had no protection whatsoever against the villain's sonic screams. After being defeated by the Hobgoblin, Peter returned to his job at Horizon's lab and decided to create a new defensive suit. Therefore, enter the Stealth Suit, aka the Enter the Big Time suit. This suit is constructed of an omniharmonic mesh composed of unstable molecules, which not only renders the suit to eliminate all input and output of sound, but allows it to repair itself if damaged. The molecules also allow for a sort of camouflage ability to hide in plain sight, which you know is kind of a must when it comes to a stealth suit. All that being said though, it does have a few drawbacks, but all in all, the Big Time costume has been used by Spidey multiple times, and it continues to be one of the most reliable costumes in his wardrobe. Check it out for yourself in 2011's Amazing Spider-Man number 650. Number 2. The Mark III. Also known as Peter's Ends of the Earth suit, Mark III of the Spider armor is easily one of, if not the best, version of the armor. During the Ends of the Earth storyline, Dr. Octopus and the Sinister Six were attempting to hold the planet hostage by speeding up the greenhouse effect within the planet, so Spidey decided that he was in need of an upgrade. With almost no hope for victory at all, Peter poured his blood, sweat, and tears into making this suit, and man did it pay off. The armor is electro-proof, impact resistant, offers well protected web shooters, and enhanced sensors are within the suit's lenses. Not only that though, this suit also allows Peter to fly thanks to built-in jet boosters, allows Spider-Man to communicate with his fellow Avengers through a comm link, and has a built-in utility belt that contains pretty much every gadget Peter has ever made. Get why it's so high up on this list today? Good. Check it out for yourself, starting with its first appearance in 2012's Amazing Spider-Man number 682. Number 1. Spider-Man 2099. Now Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man of 2099, has had two different costumes, so let's go over both of them a bit, because honestly they both deserve to be talked about. His first suit was pretty similar to the Spider-Man costume that we're all familiar with, but has a lot more blue and featured a more skull-like spider. It was made of unstable molecule fabric, similar to all of the costumes of the Fantastic Four, and also featured a cape made of a web-like material called Light Bite. And all this served him very well, but eventually, like all things, it was time for an upgrade. When Miguel joined Parker Industries, Peter created a new spider suit just for him. This version glows red and can also change color. This suit is also made of unstable molecules bonded to Kevlar to increase durability, and has a better integrated Light Bite material to improve its gliding, as well as thrusters are integrated into the boots for launch. It also has more long-range attack options provided by spider saucers running up and down his sleeves and integrated into his gloves. And of course, we can't forget that the suit has an onboard sensor for complete vicinity readings. Check out the original suit in 1992's Amazing Spider-Man number 365, and then the upgraded version in 2015's Spider-Man 2099 Volume 3 number 1. That'll be it for this video, everyone. If we still manage to miss one or more of your favorite Spider-Man suits that we think deserves to be considered one of the strongest, well then let us know in the comments below, and who knows, maybe we'll continue this list with a part 3. Now if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd to stay up to date on all things nerdy, and while you're at it, why not ring that notification bell so you know whenever we upload a video. As always, my name is Jack, thank you all so much for watching, and make sure to stay nerdy, my friends. One day I'll get there, right?
After the third degree, perhaps.
Yes, you're right. Max Born of Earth 9500. Now his armor has four extra. When Miguel joined Parker Industries, Peter created a new spider suit for him. I'm gonna try that again. When Miguel joined